Hey, All Stars, it's time for another episode of All Important Words, the podcast that helps learners of English master the academic word list. This is Jim.
And Bek, and we've got another interesting and useful academic word to share with you today. Jim, what's our word?
Today's word, Bek, is vary, which is spelled V-A-R-Y. Vary is a verb in the academic word list.
And this word has two syllables, with the stress on the first. In British English, it's pronounced vary.
While in North America, we say very or vary.
That's right, listeners. The pronunciations of this word vary depending on whether you are using British English or North American English.
Hey, Bek, how about we use that as our first example sentence? The pronunciations of this word vary depending on the variety of English you prefer to use.
Oh, that's great. And from this example, I suppose our listeners already have an idea what vary means.
But let's give them a definition just in case.
Okay, according to the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, if several things of the same type vary, they are all different from each other.
As is the case with the pronunciations of this word. They're all different from each other, but the differences are quite small. So we could say the pronunciations of this word vary slightly.
And I noticed in the definition there was some grammar information in brackets. If a verb is intransitive, it takes a subject but no object, right?
That's right, Bek. As we saw in our example, we don't need an object after vary. In fact, if you added an object, it would make the word transitive and actually change the meaning. There is another meaning of vary, which is transitive, but we're interested in the intransitive use because that's the most common one in academic English.
So, what kinds of words are used after this academic meaning of vary?
Well, there are some common adverb collocations, one of which we've used already. We said the pronunciations vary slightly, meaning just a little. But it's also common to say that things vary widely, or greatly, or considerably. All of these can mean that they vary a lot.
As in this example, although individual sleep needs vary considerably, most adults require about 8 hours per night.
Great example. How much sleep do you usually get at night, Bek?
Oh, about 7 hours? What about you?
I'm the same. When I was younger, I could get by on 6, but that's just not enough anymore.
Oh, I see. So what else should we tell the listeners about this word, Jim?
Well, interestingly, vary is also often followed by the phrase from blank to blank. We use this to describe the particular way in which things vary, and often we use the same noun in both blanks. You could say things vary from place to place, from person to person, from day to day, and so on.
For example, the availability of high-speed internet access varies from country to country.
That's good information to have if you're traveling. Here's another one. The meanings of a particular gesture may vary from culture to culture. I guess in some places the thumbs up sign doesn't mean good or okay as it does here in the States.
That's true. Depending on the culture, it can be very impolite.
That brings up another usage point, Bek. We also use vary with the phrases depending on and according to. For example, the study found that gasoline prices varied according to location. This would be a different way of saying that gas prices varied from place to place.
We could also express the same idea like this. The study found that gasoline prices varied depending on location.
Right. Vary depending on something and vary according to something. One more thing, vary is also often followed by the preposition in plus a noun or noun phrase, which together represent the specific quality or feature of the thing that varies.
And an example here would be, university classes can vary greatly in the number of students who are allowed to enroll.
Or more simply, we could say university classes can vary greatly in size. And then we could use the from blank to blank phrase to give information about the range in size. For example, university classes can vary greatly in size from 10 to 300 students.
Why not use all the usage points we've mentioned? We could say university classes vary greatly in size from 10 to 300 students depending on the topic and level of the course.
Nice!
If they remember all of these usage points, our listeners should be able to make good use of this word.
Let's hope so, because it's another one of these words that's common in academic English, but not very frequent in student writing. For some reason, many students tend to use it as an adjective and say things like, the pronunciation is very varied.
That sounds really awkward. Why not just stick to the verb form and say, the pronunciations vary?
I agree.
Okay, all stars, that's your academic word list word for the day. Remember, you can find a lot of great AWL related stuff at our website, allimportantwords.com. And if you have a question or a comment or want to suggest an academic word list word for us to cover on an upcoming episode, let us know by using the contact link.
You can also email us at allimportantwords@gmail.com or leave a comment on our Facebook page at facebook.com/allimportantwords. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you think of our show. We love feedback from our listeners.
Until our next word, bye!
Bye!